You are now tuned in to the freshest, the dopest, the one and only www.diggingdaily.com, broadcasting live from Northeast Los Angeles. This is The Way Radio, broadcasting live from LA HOTBOX Studios every motherfucking Friday night. And as always, we got special guests in studios. We got a legend, West Coast legend. I'm gonna let the gentleman introduce himself, but who we got in studio today? Oh, as he generously takes a toke of his.
What's up? My name is Chris the Glove Taylor. How y'all doing?
Yes, welcome, brother. We appreciate you coming through and blessing us today.
Absolutely, man. I'm looking forward to this.
Nice, brother. So let's get this started, man. For those that don't know and those that need to know, who is Chris the Glove Taylor?
Okay, so I started as a aeronautical engineer at 17 years old. I went to Cal State Northridge, and the space shuttle took off, which is something I wanted to design, something that would return back to Earth.
Yeah.
And I quit school, right? I'm roaming around school in the halls. I didn't tell my parents. I'm just living dorm to dorm with people. One of the homies called my dad and was like, come get this food. So I opened the door once, and my dad was standing there. He came and got me, took me back to L.A., so I'm roaming around going, what can I do? I'm walking down this field on La Cienega. DJ comes to mind. Now, this is 1979 in the fall.
Okay.
I had never seen a DJ do the things that I would end up doing. I just knew that that was something I wanted to do. It was something I asked, what could I do that I could be the best at? And the words DJ came up.
Yeah.
And that was the first time I heard, I think that's the last time I heard that voice, whatever that is. You know, it was like, DJ, what? Like, who said that? Where did that come from? So, on to learning what a DJ was. I knew of the Jammin' Gene, the disco machine. I knew of Disco Daddy, Michael Califani, and they were both not what I wanted to be. You know, disco was it, and they were hot money-making disco guys, but I wanted to do something different, like unique. I wanted to be my own thing. So now, when I started DJing, it wasn't really a time where there was already guys doing turntablism and stuff. It was none of that. I never seen it until I did it. I heard Grandmaster Flash. That's how I really learned how to scratch. I heard the Adventures of Grandmaster Flash on the Wheels of Steel, and I reverse engineered those sounds.
Interesting.
And that's how I learned how to scratch and cut and do all of those things. I learned all his tricks and did them all. He was like Michael Jordan, and I was Kobe Bryant on turntables. I did everything he could do. The same turnaround jumper, all the moves. And then I would go perform that live at the parties I was DJing, and people was like, oh, wow, you know, you from New York? Everybody thought I was from the East Coast because I could cut and scratch and those things. Now, I'm living on the west side of L.A., and I'm doing these things. And there are other DJ crews now I'm starting to hear about. They're doing these big picnics in the park, you know, Uncle Jam's Army. Yeah. Who's that? So this is 1983. And the Capri Club, I did a party for them. And my buddy DJ Reg, that's my mentor, he put me on that stage and said, go ahead, nephew, what you got? That I did the whole Grandmaster Flash Wheels of Steel set live. And they was tripping like, whoa. So when I started DJing publicly, the strangest thing would happen. Like, if they could see you, they would watch you.
Yeah.
But that's why DJs were in booths away, up in a high away. You couldn't see what they were doing, so you just danced.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. So along comes finally, to cut back a little bit, I had to figure out the equipment. I learned that it was a turntable that existed. I had seen a record player, and I had seen a component set. These are items that were daily things back in my day.
Yeah.
But now, if I say component set, people will be like, well, couches? So, you know, in that time, a record player would have a changer, and you stack a bunch of records on top, and they would just drop when it would stop. And the next one. And then I had to, Chris, go turn the records over. I got to go get the whole stack, turn them over, and start it again. So I knew that wasn't a DJ thing. Lo and behold, I learned that there was a turntable. My friend Tony Joseph, who I worked with at Burger King at the time, he told me he was a DJ, and he was like, man, come on, I'm going to show you. He put out a record player, and I was like, man, a record player. That's what I thought. And then he pulled out a turntable. I had never seen a turntable.
Yeah.
It was a SLB1. It's like the belt version of that 1200 you sit next to.
Yeah.
So Tony then pulls out a mixer with crossfaders. I was like, what the heck is that? So he then proceeds to make me a mixtape. He does this dope tape of blends and all this crossfades and all this work. He puts in all this dope work, bro. He gives me this tape, the Brother Johnson and the Invisible Man's Band and all this. I'm like, man, this is cracking. He doesn't do any cutting or scratching, but I get to see the technique, and I learned then that you really want to keep the beat the same.
Yeah.
So I'm a scratch DJ and a battle DJ, but my battle is to keep people dancing. I don't care about being faster than the next guy, which I am.
Yeah.
And I don't care about slapping some scratch, forcing that shit in there. Nah, because I had a thing that these DJs didn't have. It's called a promoter. He was like, hey, man, all that scratching, cut that shit out. The people's leaving.
Yeah.
When you got a promoter, you learn how to not be, you know.
Yeah.
You can be flashy and all that, but you gotta, if you keep it on beat and play hot stuff, you can do whatever you want. So for being that DJ, I began doing clubs and house parties, and they used to sneak me into adult clubs, and I would play. I was 18 and 19. I was 19 playing the New York Subway and Jackie O's, these big, you know, older 21 and over clubs. So I had the feel of controlling the club and the crowd of older people. You know, when you're young and you running older people, it's like, that's child's play to people your age, you know? Like, what? So it's just like playing basketball with older players. You're going to be better than the guys at your age.
Yeah.
So I moved on, and I started to deliver equipment for audio entertainment. A friend of mine, Jerry McGee, had a company that rented out speakers, Sherwin Vegas speakers, and for parties and events. Mm-hmm. Turntables stuff. So in order to get my turntables or speakers for free, so I could earn money on these parties that didn't pay that much, I worked for him to deliver. So I delivered speakers to this club called Radio, and they came to me and said, hey, the two owners were like, we heard you're a DJ. And I was like, yeah, I'm the baddest DJ you know.
Nice.
So they were like, well, you got a nice attitude. What's your DJ name? They expected me to say Kid Kraken or some shit, right? I said, DJ Chris, and they looked at each other and laughed like a mug. And they said, listen, we have a marquee. We want you to come DJ for us Friday at 11. We'll have your name there. It'll say 11 p.m. in the name we give you. So I came to the club to DJ. I brought my crate. I pulled up and it said 11 p.m. The Glove. I was like, that's cool.
Word? Are you serious? Damn.
That's how I got my name.
Interesting. I thought it was going to be like some intricate story of you DJing and you had to throw on the gloves to do all these crazy scratches, but damn, they just gave you that name.
Yeah, because, so this is the backstory of that. This is where it came from. So I was real skinny, right? You can see me in Breaking and Entering in 1983. That's a couple of years after I met the kid. Maybe a year after I met them. So I'm still the skinny kid. So when I met them, I was moving these Sherwin Vegas speakers. Now, being a DJ, I like to keep a manicure. I like to keep my hands looking good because people look at them. And so these speakers will pinch my fingers and I get bruised and they hurt because they got these metal corners. So I used to wear these gigantic gardening gloves with big fluffy, the part inside looked like rabbit fur. So I got these Mickey Mouse looking gloves, brown gloves on, talking all this shit, right? So they looked at me like, look at this dude. And I'm like 80 pounds soaking wet with big ass gloves. They like, he's the glove. That was hilarious to me when I found that out. I was like, you guys, that was very cool.
With getting the name Chris the Glove, Taylor, how did you incorporate that into what you did naturally as a DJ?
So what happened was I walk up to the thing and I see the glove. So I'm like, okay, first thing I'm thinking is next week I gotta wear a glove.
Yeah.
First, right? So I get up there, I do my thing, and I'm thinking glove thoughts now. I'm like, how can I make that be dope? So I was also a snowboarder at the time. So I used to wear snowboarding gloves, the big thick gloves.
Yeah.
You know me, there go them gloves again. But they had these gloves that you would have to put in like a liner. It was called the after ski glove. You put the thin glove on, and then you put the thick glove on top.
Okay.
So the thin glove, I was like, oh, this has got like it looked like broken pieces of glass on it. And I was like, this is sparkly right here, bro. The lights will catch it. So I cut some holes in the fingertips on the backs, on the front side, so you couldn't see them. It looked like the glove was normal,
Yeah.
but my fingers were cut out so I could touch the record. Feel me?
Yeah.
So I started wearing that. And then at the same time, it was a young guy in the back of the club. Club radio had all celebrities in the crowd. You had people like Sting, Prince. They sneak up in there. Michael Jackson, Lionel Richie. All these people was hot at the time. Whoever was hot, they was up in there and mixed in with poor people. But it was like no problem. It was all good.
Yeah, it was all good time.
So this one guy was there learning how to moonwalk from Jeffrey Daniels and the other homie who taught him how to moonwalk because he had a show in 1983, 84, coming up in Pasadena. It was a Motown special.
Yeah.
And this motherfucker saw me wearing that glove on stage. And the next thing I know, Michael Jackson is being called the gloved one because he wore it when he did that shit and danced. That was the first time he put the bitch on when he performed that moonwalk at that. You remember the Pasadena?
Yeah. For the it was like the reunion show or something like that.
It was a Motown special.
Yeah. Crazy.
That dude stole my glove. Rest in peace, Mike. You a jacker. You are not hip hop, bro, because you are not fresh.
He would agree with you. He would say he's pop. He'd be like,
you know what I learned? Check this out. Nah, Michael Jackson. Let me tell you what Michael Jackson would tell me. If Michael Jackson were, I discovered this. Now you heard me just tell that story about the glove, right?
Yeah.
Now any normal person was gonna be like, this motherfucker. Who does he think he is? He's talking about Michael Jackson. So I just found out that on the Bad album, Michael Jackson put an homage to Turbo from Turbo and Ozone. On the back of the Bad album, that should say Turbo. It's got some blocks stacked up that say Turbo. So Michael Jackson called Turbo and said, look, I want to show you what I did on my album because he loved breaking.
Yeah.
So now Michael Jackson put Turbo on his album and called him to tell him that. I don't think it's a stretch to think this guy got that glove from me. And I believe that if he were alive, he would say, man, I got that glove from you, glove. And I'd be glad to tell the people. I never thought it was a problem. I'm telling you, bro, because he gives it up. He was fucking with us. He put Turbo on his album.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man.
And it is documented that Turbo was teaching him at Neverland how to do the moonwalk and how to break dance and how to
Turbo
pop.
taught him how to pop. Yeah,
how
but
to
the
pop.
moonwalk he learned. Turbo was 15 when Michael learned how to moonwalk. That should happen a little later.
Word.
But they all met there. That's where Michael met. Okay, so Bruno, Poppin' Taco, Poppin' Pete, all these guys that did all these Michael Jackson videos, met him. He met him at radio, watching them dance. That's how you see all those people that was in the Thriller used to dance at radio. They was, we wasn't just in breaking.
Yeah.
We was all over. Shaka Khan video, that was us. It was all kind of videos with us in it. We took over the culture for years. It was great. We did the opening ceremony of the Olympics in '84 in Los Angeles, the after party. Me and Ice.
Oh, talk about that. How did you link up with Ice, man?
So check this out. I will back up. I read my name on the marquee, the glove. So I said, okay, I'm going to go in here. So I go in there with my crate, and it's a group in there DJing called the Shake City Rockers. I give them love because they was the first guys I ever saw doing what I could do.
Yeah.
I walk in there and was like, oh, shit, these guys, but they was playing some bullshit. They didn't know how to. So I had a trick to.
We got to give them credit, but they were playing some bullshit.
Because you got to know how to get the crowd going. See, that's my trick. I get you dancing. I don't care what it is. If I got to play Don't You Want Me, Baby from the Human League, you going to dance. And then you can, break dancers want to dance.
Yeah.
They don't want to sit on the sideline and be bored and shit. They want you to play some heat so they can up rock and do all that shit. So, so they was playing, boom bap, shit you couldn't do nothing with. So, as I was saying in the other room, I want to bring that up as I'm telling this story. So we all know that there's 5 elements, and one of the elements being the B-boy.
Yes, sir.
But the B-boy, people don't seem to understand, the DJ is like the leader of the B-boys because the B comes from break, that the DJ plays the break. If the DJ did not play the break, there would be no break boys. So we're like the vampire and they're all werewolves. You know what I'm saying? It's like they follow us. But anyway, DJs are the first B-boy. I'm a B-boy first.
Yes, sir.
I bring the beat, and then I make beats. So it's that part. All DJs don't make beats, but all beat makers that were DJs are the dopest ones.
I agree with that statement. I agree with that.
So that's I'm going to the club. I'm looking around. I see these guys, Shake City Rockers. Shout out to Trevi Trev and Booker T, rest in peace, and then Suave Smooth and Shank, Chevy Shank. Yeah, shout out to them cats. So they still around, some of them. So anyway, they get off the shit and I get on the turntables. They stay to watch me and all that. So while I'm doing the turntable and stuff, a dude grab a mic and say, "Hey, such that you got a movie card, this and that, blah blah blah." He's giving out announcements and shit, right? And so then while the guy starts talking, I change the music so it's no words, it's just the beat.
Yeah.
So I'm just playing the beat and I'm watching him to keep it going until he finished talking. That's called like a donut on the radio.
Yeah.
Like how you had the music playing for me.
Yeah.
So you keeping the lyrics out. So I'll be doing that live. So he was like, "All right, y'all motherfuckers." After he finished telling that shit, he go, "Everybody on the left say ho." Everybody go, "Ah." And then he go, "Everybody on the right say what's up, what's up." And then he go into a rap. That was Ice-T.
Yeah.
We both met on stage and we started the same night. I was like, "Oh, that dude must do that every night." And then I come to find out, he saw me and said, "Oh, that dude must be rocking every night." Like, we both started that same night. It was the second night of radio.
Oh, word.
That's where I met Ice-T.
So then let me ask you this, with Ice-T, because you guys had a couple songs together, right?
We did a few songs, but they were all stemmed from the movie Breaking, the soundtrack. So what happened was, now we got this club, it's a happening. They writing about it in the paper, it's on the news. So now we got all these thousands of people lined up coming to this motherfucker, right? There's a bunch of white people coming now. It's crazy. So some of them were producers of film, and they're looking at the people. It's still the core people are in there, you know, the stars, the celebrities. Them people just can't get in.
Yeah.
And it's the same vibe, and they're like, "We got to make a movie about this shit. This is the culture." And so Breaking came about from that. It's actually about the club, and they wrote a love story and a ballet. They took the same Romeo and Juliet ballet story.
Yeah.
So when they said to keep it authentic as possible, they used all of the people who danced in the club, and the club came and said, "Can you guys work?" So all of us would be there, same cast that would be there Friday night. We came 2 weeks to film that shit every day, right?
Yeah.
And so as we're filming these scenes near to the end, a friend of mine tells me, "Hey, I heard them talking about getting Africa Bambaataa to play the music." And after the first week, I went and bought me an 808 drum machine because the checks was like, gang, it was packed cracking. 1984, I'm getting like $1,680 a week to shoot this movie, right? I'm like, ooh, I didn't give but $75 to DJ at radio, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
And that was a lot. So I'm like, man, I could move out the house with this buddy, right? So I got this going, and I go to them. She said, "Go tell them you know music. Go tell them." So I had just made a couple of beats on my drum machine, right? I went up to them and said, "Hey, you guys don't need Bambaataa. You need me. I'm the sound of this club, man. What's wrong with you?" So they said, "Okay, we'll pay you this much, and you do these 2 scenes we got, blah, blah, blah." So they paid me a gang of money, right?
Yeah.
And I made these music for these scenes. Now, the 2 scenes had those beats. All of this movie is done, the album's done. We're gonna last pretty much day, damn near a week before they dropped it. It was like, we don't have a talking song for the album. That's what they call rap music back then, the talking.
Interesting.
Interesting. They said, "We don't have a talking. Can you make a rap talking song?" Because Ice-T's credit in Breaking is rap talker, and mine is scratcher.
Oh shit! I gotta look at those edits, those closing edits.
Rap talker. It's hilarious. So I said, yeah, I could. So I took the music that I had done in one of the scenes I liked a lot, and we tightened it up. And then I called up Ice-T and was like, "Yo, can you come and write a rap to this? I'll give you like, $2,000. And he was like, "Yeah, that's more than I paid him more than we was making a week for the acting." So he was like, "Yeah." He came and got that little money and did that shit. And he wrote the song about me. It became Reckless.
Yeah.
We did like 3 or 4 songs, but then we also went back for the next movie, Breaking 2, and we did Go Off, which I think is dope, actually. It never was released.
Yeah. Interesting. So let me ask you this. Knowing in that time and seeing Ice-T back then to where he's at now, I mean, you played a vital role in that. I mean, you provided the beat. You gave them. You told me, man, they want a talking record. You gave them that platform.
Hey, man, I could have picked anybody for that.
Yeah.
But Ice-T literally was the only rapper talker I knew.
He said rapper. The talking. You know, he's the one that could do that talking.
I
Good.
mean, I told you, he got up on that stage and said, "Everybody rock the house. DJ, rock the house." He used to walk over to him and say, "DJ, rock the house.
Yeah.
DJ, turn it down." I was like, "Damn, bro, I like you." I get all hyped up and shit. Like, he was dope. Ice is great to perform with.
Yeah.
Boy, he was. You know, now I don't know what he does. He's a fantastic person, whatever. But back then, when we was just getting going, he was the truth.
Yeah.
You know.
He switched up his style.
Well, that was needed for then. You know,
it
was young, it was youth, it was brash. We was not wearing shirts and shit, and you know, shit like that. Like, but now I'm wearing a Zulu Nation medallion and a bandana and no shirt. I'm DJing. You know, I ain't got no. I'm a skinny ass kid. But I'm not fat, so hey, I'm like, you remember Jodeci when that skinny ass JoJo would take his shirt? That was me, bro. I was that. Hilarious. So, you know.
Just don't take your shirt off right now, Dan.
Hey,
we'll
man,
be
it's
good.
cracking down, though, dog. Let me take this off now. It's a whole other story. Hey, look, I got my body now is better than it was at 20. And I met a man when I was, you know, I'm working on my thing and doing what I do. And we got a boxing trainer.
Yeah.
And he was training the guy, and I was watching him run through the routines. He was coming off of a sickness, but he was killing it, right? And I was thinking the dude was like my age, and that dude was like, I'm 73. I was like, I almost fell out when I saw this 73-year-old man beating the shit out of the heavy bag. Like, bruh, if you can hit a heavy bag and make it swing like that, imagine what happened if people don't weigh 200 pounds, bro.
Yeah.
He'll hit you and you will go across the room, like in the TV.
Yeah.
Or you'll crumple and it'll be a broken bone. Motherfucker hit you and it go. Yeah. That's why I hit the bag. The heavy bag is the speed bag. The speed bag emulates the head.
Yeah.
So when cats be trying to move their head, bro, you can't move as fast as that speed bag was going. I'm going to tag you every time you move. Pop, pop, pop. So, you know. Anyway, back to the music.
No doubt, no doubt. Let me ask you this. Is the track you did with Reckless and then with Go Off with Ice-T and producing that, is that what got you into more production? Because you have produced more tracks.
Well, actually, so it was so cool. Shout out to Dave Stores. So this is how it works, right? So I got all this money, and then they were like, "We need you to make a rap target song. Here's some money." So they give me like some more money. That's why I could give Ice so much money just for that 4 hours.
Yeah.
So I hired a white boy who I didn't know anything about the studio. I just knew I had been making bootleg vinyl records, you know, mixers. We would go edit them together, and I'd do DJ and shit. Me and my boys Victor Flores and Carlos Mongalo. Yeah. And they introduced me to Dave Stores, who was an engineer at a studio that he owned out in the Valley. So I went out there and, you know, I programmed these beats, and Dave would program the bass line, and we talk about what we use, and he didn't know how to play that shit, but, you know, and then we program it, and then it was all buttons, you know, the rolling 808 and the bass, rolling bass line. Those are not keyboards, so it's easy to program if you know how to hear it.
Yeah.
So, you know, me and this white boy are making these beats, and then I'm cutting and scratching, and he's mixing them, and so that's who actually taught me how to mix.
Interesting.
Oh, yeah, Dave Stores. He told me one thing. It was the most crucial thing in my life. He said, I said, man, what does this do? I pointed to a knob on the board. It was one of the knobs in the EQ. It was a low end, right?
Yeah.
He said, turn it till you hear it, and then turn it back until you like it.
Oh, shit.
And that's exactly how you mix a record. And I was like, bruh. Ever since he said that, I'll just start turning knobs. And that's how I just turn them. I don't like that. Keep turning. Oh, I like that. Next one. And it's just natural. I don't know what the frequencies are. I couldn't tell you that shit. I know now, but, you know, don't ask me to get I know music better. I know musical notes and keys. And, you know, I read music and write music, literally. So, you know, that part. But as far as the frequencies and all that engineering tech, I'm an engineer, but I'm like, it's like when people learn how to play music by sight, or they play by ear.
Yeah.
When you play by ear, you can't read music, but you can play anything you hear. That's me as an engineer. I engineer by ear. I didn't go to school for that shit.
But sometimes I feel like you don't need to go to school. If you have the passion for it and you really want to sit there and dedicate yourself to it, you're gonna learn. You're gonna learn it.
Oh yeah, and another thing I've learned in these years of my life is that I realize now that, I've been there when so what I work, or also Dre. When we're in the studio, the music can get obscenely loud to where most people will run out the room or gotta go out. Like the engineer working with me gotta leave when I do that, right? Because he's protecting his ears. But then I learned something later on in life. I'm like, you know what? I believe that. So Dre, I personally, I was signed to 4 record labels. I have 4 contracts. So I'm like a NBA player that was on 4 teams. You know what I'm saying? Dre was on those teams he was on. We're professionals. So I learned that being in the professional ranks is different from just making music, because you gotta fill out a lot of other shit you gotta fill a lot of boxes before they give you that paper or before they pay to blow your record up. So, back to the learning by ear thing and doing the mixing by ear, the reason that I go to there is because I learned how to do it. I believe that it is an athletic ear that I have. Like, my ears can take more punishment than like Kobe got a different body. He can run and practice. Athletes can do more.
Yeah.
I think that happens in music too. I think those guys at the top have athletic type prowess in there. Like my ears, I can listen to music loud as fuck, bro.
Yeah.
All I got is tinnitus that I had for 50 years. Just the same little buzz, G sharp. So ain't nothing changing. I'm not getting deaf or any of that. So there's strength there. My ears are designed away. So that's how come I can mix records and hear things. Some people can't hear it. Their ears are too close to their head. So it goes right by.
Yeah.
So that's what I believe. I believe that it's almost an athletic thing.
So how long after DJing did you really start like taking mixing and engineering like seriously?
Well, once I made that record, okay, so now this is the funny part. When I first started DJing, like that club radio was my first club. Like outside of being snuck in the back and getting $100 for playing the records all night for the dude that's all fucking the girl. He got me faking it, you know what I mean? He in a bathroom with her and I'm playing music.
Yeah.
So, and they think it's him. So, that club, then I get in a movie and then I make music for the movie. I hadn't made no records, remember?
Yeah.
So then they said, can you make a record from that movie music? So I'm like, okay, this is how the music business go, because you got to make movie music for a movie.
Yeah.
And then you make a record. Like, you don't know what it is. Nobody said, nah, bro, you get a record deal and you do this. You know, wasn't no YouTube for me to go and look up the ABCs of this shit. None of it. So I was like, I don't want to do hip-hop. I want to make more music for movies, and I want to be in an R&B group because I understood music, and I felt like hip-hop guys was just throwing sounds together that wasn't even on pitch, and I didn't like it really at all. Some of the stuff I did, but mostly it was like, I was a snob to hip-hop, so, even though I was in it.
So for R&B, that would be the group Poor, Broke, and Lonely?
Poe.
Poe? Okay, Poe.
Poe, Broke, and Lonely, yeah. Poe is worse than poor.
Yeah.
When you Poe, you ain't got a pot to piss in. But it was also, so Dre gave us that name, Poe, Broke, and Lonely. He named Above the Law, he named NWA, he named Poe, Broke, and Lonely. And I put a question mark at the end. I was like, nah, we ain't gonna be Poe, Broke, and Lonely, Mr. Curse Giver. We're gonna be Poe, Broke, and Lonely. Really?
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was what ultimately became my R&B career thing. And I pursued it all the way. I mean, so in between that time, 84, so now we got this club. I'm DJing in video for Shaka Khan, I Feel For You,
Yeah.
They edit together the dancers, and then they said, we need something to tie in a reality, make it look like she was really there. Why don't we take the DJ and put him with Shaka? So me and Shaka Khan were by ourselves for 12 hours. They filmed us all day. That shit was crazy.
What was going through your mind during that?
Man, I wish I could get this girl's number. How can I get her number? What can I say to? But she was so short. So it was like being with Nicki Minaj today. She was like a baby Nicki Minaj back then. She was bad. And she was older then. She was a little gaining weight.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, how can I? No, but it was really, I was too nervous and too goofy to even be thinking, how could I get her number? I was just like, you see me in the camera? I was like, the whole time, man. Shit, I was probably 21 anyway.
Yeah.
So it was 84. I was 22. So actually, I might not because my birthday's in the summer. So it could have been, yeah, I was 21, like Goofy.
But even at that young of an age and having that success that quick come to you, how do you deal with it?
Man, you know what? I think I saw my first autograph when I was like, fuck, bro, super young, like 15. I don't know. It's nothing. It's like your life. That's just like you. You're in that room. You won't come out here and sit next to me and be on camera. It's your life.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you just deal with it. Like, I saw a video of John Cena. He was sitting down with some friends, and this dude said, Cena, let me get a picture. Let me get a picture. And John was like, how about, can I just talk to my friends? He wasn't mad or nothing. He didn't say nothing but that. And the dude was like, oh, my bad. And he walked off. It was like, fuck, bro, we just got a deal.
Yeah.
You know, whether it's that or whether you're pushing a car and people go, look, that motherfucker ain't got no money. He's pushing his car. Like, you was pushing your car once in your life, fool. Something happened. You know, or whatever. People put you on a different, I don't know, pedestal or mental. And also it's a weird thing so I'm like one of those kind of everyday type of celebrity. I'm not really famous, but like people like me and I'm popular, like in my town and in my thing. I'm popular amongst purists, so it's a good place, right?
Yeah.
But so every now and then I see people out, so they still hit me up. I'm signing something, or taking a picture. It's cool. You know, it's just life. It's not dealing. It's just you do it. That's what I chose.
Yeah. Earlier you were mentioning working with Dre. How in the time, because you were there kind of in the beginning of when everything was going on with Dr. Dre and his musical career, how the group got started with NWA and everything. In your mind, are you being able to be there in some of the instances or seeing other artists involved, like how did you deal with that, or how did you see the culture evolving? Like, what was your thoughts on, is this really going to happen? Is this a movement that we're going into? Because not many people could sit in the shoes that you were in and seeing things as they were moving, especially in the music industry, especially with hip-hop evolving to where it was going.
Right.
You know, the everydays of like people not understanding the culture or understanding the music. But you know, what was going through your mind during those times?
Well, when I first started doing hip hop, nobody wanted to, you know, we were rebels. They didn't like the shit. Nobody wanted us scratching records or we tearing stuff. I had to buy my own turntables. My mom would be like, you turn up my record. And I'm not. You turn on my turntables. So I had to buy my own record, my own turn. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and then here's a story. So a buddy of mine, Bernard, told me he used to be with Curtis Blow. When they first went out on the road, they 19, 20. They on the road with Confunction and the Barcades and these grown men, right? Every night they would take bats and brash their turntables.
Why?
I
don't know why.
Because they said, you're not going to make money. We a band. You're not going to play records and get paid like we get paid. You need some people playing this music. You ain't going to play records. And they was mad. Eventually, they stood up to them and they stopped breaking them turntables. But that's the kind of shit it was. When we was making hip-hop, I made hip-hop at the cost of my own life, bro. It is not a joke. Like, I wear this chain from Death Row, but, bro, that shit was a fucking walk through darkness, all right? Like, literally. Like you said, a young lady said seemed like I had a light. I had that light for them motherfuckers because everybody was dark in there. And so, and they would be around me like flies, too. It was weird. It was very strange, that whole Ruthless, Death Row. It's a spirit there. But I have no fear of that type of a spirit or anything. They actually fear you. For instance, if you notice darkness, everybody's darkness, demon time, this and that, right?
Yeah.
When it's dark, when you turn on the light, do you know what darkness does?
Goes away.
No, it doesn't. It flees. It runs away and hides in the corners and it's lurking, and that shadow is hiding from the light. It can't stand the light.
Yeah.
If I turn the light toward it, it'll cower back more.
Yeah.
Light and darkness, they live. Darkness is afraid of light. And it's in reality. Like when you walk in and you're the light, that's why people sometimes get killed, because their light is too bright.
Yeah.
You gotta learn how to dim that bitch. I got a dimmer. Yep.
It comes on when it needs to.
Well, it's some, but like Martin Luther King's light got extinguished. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, he didn't get to dim it. He couldn't do it, you know. But it was a bitch ass that did that to him anyway. So it's all relative. That was by design. Everything that we do in life has been. The Bible says there's nothing new under the sun. So therefore, no matter what you do, that was already going to be what you were going to do.
Yeah. That's true. That's
So
true.
that means destiny. Like, people want to go, what about destiny? Do you believe in destiny? Bible says, you believe the Bible? Yes. Okay, let's start there. You believe it? Some people know. If you believe the Bible says there's nothing new under the sun. That means you and what you're doing is not new. Okay? If you don't understand what I mean, look back and you'll find somebody doing the exact same shit you did 100 years ago. Like, for instance, I love telling people this story. I'm gonna jump over to music publishing real quick while we're talking about Ruthless and Death Row. So, music publishing, here we go. In 1500, remember we were talking about the year 1500?
Yeah.
Okay, so right around in them years, 1400, before they did the great split, the great divide, what did she say? It was division, yeah. So the great divide in 1500 and something. So before then, we all got along and everything was cool. So here you come and me. I'm a minstrel. I sing songs. So people look forward to us coming to songs. You play the drum or the guitar and I sing the songs. We show up, they gather around, pay us a little money, food or whatever. We sing songs, tell jokes, and then we go to the next village.
Yeah.
So the people, we come around maybe once a year. So the people there, they like our songs. So after third or fourth time coming, they're learning them. Here's a guy walks up. I'm singing the song. He goes, hey, why don't you write the words to your song on this piece of paper? And I can go sell it to the people and give you a percentage. You understand what I just said, right?
Yes.
He took his piece of paper out to write my lyrics on it, to go sell it, to give me a portion of it.
Yeah.
That's music publishing.
Word.
It's for people who can't write music to make money off of music.
Word.
And
Damn.
so, yeah. But I prefer to be the person paying publishing instead of receiving it because it's only a small percentage.
Really?
Yeah, it's like if you got $1, it's like 10 to 25 cents. 25 cents goes towards publishing, and the same money match goes to mechanicals and writing, something like that. It's a formula.
So let me ask you this, because you played roles, or you were a part of like Ruthless, Death Row, Aftermath. In those, with those labels, or being affiliated and working with those labels in music, as an artist then and an artist now, is it worth it? Is it worth it to have a record deal?
Well, quick answer is no, it's never worth it to be signed to somebody else and they loan you some money and then they can take that and put it against your credit if you fail.
Mm-hmm.
So that's not a good look. But if you need some money, someone to front you, or you need a big advance, or you need some money in your hands, it's like the one and done with the NBA guys. You gotta, or NFL or football, you gotta get it. If you gotta sell and go sign to a label, sign to a label. We did it. I mean, you know, it's not always bad. You gotta understand it better. Like, if I understood it better when I did it the first time, I would have a lot of money right now.
Yeah.
So it's all relative, bro. It's whatever, man. I mean, some people, lucky for me, it was money. My health is 1,000%, so I don't have anything. You know, I mean, I did go through some changes. I've had brain surgery. I had heart issues when I was younger, but nothing like what people do. My heart used to beat too fast. It didn't do any of that, you know, heart attack or none of that. So anyway, you get what you're gonna get. Like, that's what I try to tell people. You get the best and the worst. You're born and you're gonna die. Everybody got that.
Yeah.
But everybody, and the problems you have between, everybody got problems, bro. Your problems seem really bad, and my problems seem really bad to me. And other people in the rooms with us, their problems seem like the worst problems ever. But none of them really are. It's just that we're dealing with that, you know? So you cannot know that person, like, I'm sick. Oh, I'm dying. Oh, I got COVID. I'm gonna die. Oh, well, I'm buried my mom. Oh, well, these people say these things back and forth to each other.
Yeah.
And it's really like everybody, to compare the bad. Like, I remember a guy used to say, well, my kids. And I used to be like, dude, I got kids. So now what you telling me now? Your kids eat and mine don't. Is that what you telling me now? You didn't.
Yeah.
Oops. So imagine saying that to somebody who will really take that personal, like your boss.
Yeah.
I used to tell people, man, don't do that kids thing. Don't try to use your kids. Everybody got kids, bruh. Try something else. Try something that they don't have. Don't do that. That's not going to work. So anyway, being with those companies, it was a kind of dark time, but at the same time, it was creative and it was like freedom. Because like with all that shit going on, we did what we wanted to do, bro.
Yeah.
We wasn't listening to nobody. It was none of that. Like, I don't know. I hear stories about people allegedly getting slapped by people or whatever. I'd never witnessed. Anybody I ever saw got physical violence was on the other side. There was no death row violence on death row ever that I saw. At one point, I did witness Suge Knight and RBX get into it, and about to fight, they stood up over some Harold's chicken. I remember that. But other than that,
It wasn't music related. It was just food related.
it was music related. It was after a show, and that nigga was tired. He had performed, and Suge was hungry because they had been doing whatever they do, and then he wanted that chicken, and X was eating it. He was like, shit, I'm going to eat this chicken. You going to have to kick my ass then. Fuck it.
Let me ask you this, artist-wise, who were some of the artists that you worked with that you enjoyed, like, naturally creating music with them?
Nas. Oh, well, yeah, Nas. When you say creating music, so this is the thing with me. I have worked with Dr. Dre. I'm one of the rare people who can actually collaborate with a guy like that and create together, but I've never done it with another producer. So
Oh, word.
I've only done it with Dre, and I can put my ego in my pocket and do whatever is needed. Play keys, play this part, try that, try this harmonica. Oh, that ain't gonna work, or it's dope, or I'm free with that. Like, I'm not gonna say I'm not gonna give you no judgment prior to. You know how you'll say something? That's gonna be. Oh no, because you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's why, bro. Like, do you know that if you're a scientist and you are looking at an experiment, the fact that you are witnessing that experiment changes the results? Did you know that?
No, I did not know that.
Exactly. People don't. So if you run an experiment fully automated, no human interaction, it's going to give you some data results.
Yeah.
And as soon as you stand in there, the results change. And more people, they different. It always happens. It's a human element thing, they call it. And so because of that, I think mine went off. Because of that, the human element is the strangest, thing that you can't quantify when it's going on.
It's a human element factor.
But just because the motherfucker's in there, bro, it's fucked up. If he wasn't in there, it would be cool. And, it's like the fly in the soup. So anyway, that's that Death Row and Ruthless. We never had issues. Suge didn't come in the studio and yell at cats and tell them to work. Man, So we love making music, right?
Yeah.
This dude found a group of people that couldn't be kept out of the studio. You could lock the door, we'd break in. There was people who used to break in to make music. Shit, got a bunch of tapes of people who used to sneak in after 2 and make songs and shit.
Damn, really?
Yeah, bro. Okay, check this out. If I'm working on some music in a studio and Beyonce, John Legend, Jay-Z, Nas, they're in the lobby, and if they get a whiff of my music, if they hear it, and it's a free move around, I guarantee you, every one of them will find their way to the microphone. No money, no even record. They'll ask you, hey, can I get down? That's just hip hop. That's how it go, bro. When I'm DJing and I got my system set up at the park, this dude come up and say, hey, can I be your MC? I'm gonna get everybody on the thing. Okay. And that's what happened. We gave the rappers our microphones, and now we get left the fuck out.
Yeah.
We got the equipment. That was literally my microphone, Rakim.
So you did say that Nas was someone you liked working with.
Yes, Nas is.
What was it about Nas being able to create with him that you enjoyed?
I like spending time with Nas. He was a cool dude. We used to walk him. I had an engineer named Cigar. I was talking to him last night. We used to walk to the News Cafe in Miami when we were recording the album for 2 weeks. We'd walk every morning and have breakfast and talk about shit with AZ. And had these deep ass conversations. So I just enjoyed time. And then I used to play I'm 6'6", right? So I would play basketball with AZ. You ever seen AZ? You know who that is?
Yes, I know what AZ is.
AZ is 5 foot, maybe one. But he would want to play basketball with me. So
Yeah.
And so I'm the kind of guy that when you shoot, I'm gonna block that shit across the street because you got the gall to be 5 feet and want to play basketball with me. Every time, bro. You ever notice when they play NBA and the buzzer go off or the whistle, somebody shoot and the other team jump up and stop it from going to basket?
Yeah.
That's me, bro. I don't care if your kids is here. Motherfucker, if you make a basket, consider that an achievement. Really. Like, I really was trying to stop you. So, I mean, we would play one-on-one. It'd be like 11-1. 10-1, 11-1. He might get one, maybe two, if I was too tired to run down there to stop a layup.
Yeah.
But he would play basketball with me like every night. So me and AZ, he's a 5%er, and I'm a Zulu Nation king. So we would talk about concepts, and 5%ers think they know everything, and literally they think that they compile 5% of them compiles the nations, all of the knowledge.
Well, there's a lot of 5%ers in hip hop.
Yeah, that's cool though. They don't know it all because that's why it's only 5%.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It ain't 100%ers.
Yeah.
Zulu Nation, on the other hand, is different, and they both was gangs, so it don't even matter really. It's just, he was a really unique type of individual to have conversations with. It was great. And then, so we would talk about biblical stuff and about, more agnostic kind of subjects, stuff that you would find occult or hidden, secret stuff we talk about. And then he went and wrote the lyric on, I'll never forget when he did Firm Fiasco. He said, 200 fallen angels, we balling on every angle. Heavy Van Gogh's something. He said 200 fallen angels, we balling on every angle. That was specifically a conversation that we had just had.
Oh, shit.
It's cool to hear records.
Yeah.
And know that motherfucker said that shit that you just said out your mouth.
Well, that's insight. Yeah, that's insight.
And you hear it come out and on the record every time I hear some songs. For instance, most people don't know Phone Tap is a song that I produced, right?
Yes.
I did the whole track in my headphones before they even heard it. When they heard it, they came upstairs and then instantly started working on it. It was a trip.
Yeah.
So I'm working on this. So I'm going to give a little backstory. We were to do this album, East Coast meets West Coast. It's Nas and Foxy Brown, AZ, Carmega. We finna work with them. Biggie gets killed. Pac got killed a year from 95, I think, or 96. And then Biggie gets killed in 97, I think.
Yeah, I believe so.
So it was like nobody was going to New York and nobody was coming to LA. So we went to Miami, like the mob. We had a summit.
Yeah.
And we made this album, right? So to get there, I had just joined Aftermath because I was a rebel. I left Death Row like, fuck y'all. Before everybody left, I left. Mm-hmm. And then I was like, not gonna work with Dre. So my boy called me and was like, man, you need to come on over here, come on over. So I did a deal with Dre. I thought I made a deal for a lot of money. It was really not that much. But in hindsight. But anyway, I enjoyed my time working with that dude. Anyway, I moved forward and I go get with them, and we're going to go. All of a sudden, we got to make this album for a group called The Firm, and so there's a producers, me, Stu, Butter. I bring Mailman in for Butter, beg me to talk to him, and I bring him into the crew. It's like these 5 producers, and so these guys are all like, "Oh, Glove, you gotta make some music so you could get on. You're not on, Dre and talk to you. Like he gotta hear your music so you can get on the flight to Miami." Like I'm like, what? I said, oh, okay. Well, I said, shit, I ain't going there. When y'all leave, I'm gonna have both studios. When y'all come back, it's gonna be 80 new songs from Glove. So go ahead. And so I was really happy to not go to Miami because I'm not really a traveler, man. I toured with them fools. I'm like, fuck this. I don't go nowhere. So so Dre, of course, was like, fuck that, brother. What? Like, you're going. Like, you ain't gotta make no music. So in the meantime, as they put this bug in my head, so I'm like, well, damn, I need to come up with some shit, right?
Yeah.
I'm thinking, of course, I'm team player trying to be on point. So Dre had this place called The Dome, which was like 100,000 records. genre'd and compiled out in order in racks with a drum machine, MPC, a DAT machine,
Damn.
turntables, everything you needed to get a beat started.
Yeah. That's
You
like
know.
a great playground right there.
Yeah, it was perfect. So many great records. The whole 2001 came off of that spot.
Damn.
So Dre's a great innovator with work ethic. He knows how to get the best out of these motherfuckers making music. This nigga's a genius. So I go to the Dome every day. After I leave the studio, I roll over to it. It was by my house. So I go. It was at the Van Nuys Airport. It's a hangar in the Van Nuys Airport.
Oh, shit.
So I would drive up there, pull up to the hangar. I had keys. I go up in there. Boom. I work. So I found this sample, right? This guy, Chris, whatever the fuck his name is. I get this record, and I'm listening to it, and it's doing these key changes and tempo changes, and I'm like, fuck. So I just took a snippet of it and put it on a DAT. I couldn't understand it clearly to sample it and make a beat. I was like, this is dope, but I can't figure it out.
Yeah.
I had that shit, man. I say 8 months I had that sample in my pocket, bro. I would listen to it every now and then, like, how the fuck I'm gonna flip this? So fast forward to we go to Miami, and so we're out there. So I ain't got no beats. They got beats, right? So it's funny. They're all playing their beats that they made for the Miami trip for Dre, and he's like, nah, I don't like none of this shit, right? So in the meantime, I'm wearing my headphones, and I go to the MPC drum machine, and it's a kind of co-op machine. We all put our sounds in there. So I'm like, whose sounds in here? And Butter's like, them is my sounds. I said, these your drums? Let me delete it and put my shit in. And he was like, no, you can use that. I'm like, nah, I hear some shit I like, and if I use it, nah, let me get my shit in here. And he was like, nah, man, go ahead, Glove. He laughing. I said, Butter, if I use these drums, you'll never be able to use them again. I said that shit with a straight face to him, and he looked at me, and he laughed and waved his hand. Go ahead, Glove. I said, okay. So I pull out my sample that I end up using for phone tap. I throw it in the MP, and then I figured out how I could get it to fit in the bars. I had to play it a certain way, and I was like, oh. So I was playing these ghost notes because I had to hit the pad to make it start so the beat would drop on beat. So I'm playing it like the beat goes, doom, 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 right?
Yeah.
But I played the part to make it sound like that so that it would loop. It wasn't on beat, right?
Yeah.
So I'm playing the pads in this weird ass rhythm. You know, it's like that beat is like you would think it would go doom, doom, tap, doom. So his hands are going boom, pop, but my hands would be going like different to make that beat happen.
You were
like
playing it live.
Yeah, but it was like riding a bike and making you go forward. It didn't have a rhythm.
Yeah.
But I knew the loop. So anyway, I got it in there, and then I was sitting back, and then I did some. I said, oh, the beat, doom, tap, doom, tap, doom, tap, doom, doom, boom, tap, boom, boom, tap, boom, boom. Tap. That I was like, oh yeah. So I just put that in, and I found the snare, the one that's on the record.
Yeah.
Where he could never use again because it's the phone tap snare. They even sampled it for Can't Believe because it was the phone tap snare.
Oh, word?
It's
Damn,
called
crazy.
the phone tap snare, bro. I told him,
Crazy.
you'll never be able to use it again. I didn't know it was a profit.
Yeah.
I was like, hey, bro, trust me on this. When I get my hands on a snare, it's over.
Yeah.
So I did the beat, and so I'm sitting back listening to the beat. Like I got these headphones now in the show. I'm looking at the beat, listening. And so Dre, we used to have this thing. The drum machine was connected to the whole system so he could push a button and turn it all the way up on the SSL and clown. If you got a whack beat going, you finna get a joke on, the joke's on you, buddy.
Yeah.
So he would always say, oh, what's so-and-so cooking up? So he go, what's Glove cooking up? And I had my headphones on. I could see his mouth. And so I said, normally I would stop it so he couldn't play it, but I knew that loop would play. I couldn't stop the loop from trailing off until it completed its cycle.
Yeah.
So I just sat back, and he turned on that motherfucking beat, and I took my headphones off, and I saw his face, and the next thing I know, Nas and AZ came running in the room. They were downstairs working on executive action or some shit up under us.
Yeah.
And when that beat came, you know, Dre turned it all the way up because he was trying to clown.
Yeah.
That shit said, them dudes put their hands to the side of their head like and made the face. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Like,
And so I was like, but I don't want to use the sample, Dre. I want to fucking you hear it now. So I'm excited now because they liking the beat. I stood up, took the headphones off. I'm like, I don't want this sample. I want Sean to play the guitar, play this part, and I want the bass. It's two bass lines. So I arranged the whole thing. It's a bloom, 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 bloop. It's a stand-up bass line, and then I got a sub bass going boop, boop, going along with it, right? Like I got an arrangement with the bass, it's like a dance to go around the kick drum, because whenever my bass and kick would hit together, they would cancel each other out. So I had this whole little dance going, boom, boom, ka, boom, boom, ka. So everybody's feeling the beat. It's going. They like sitting at the table. They got these yellow pads. They done tore whatever the fuck they was writing off, and they got pens. So they writing some shit. And I was like, man, you know how you do a song and they always have a dope little part with the phone voice, but it's just a little part or answer. I said, man, we should do the whole song like that. I said, Nas, everybody know your voice. You should do that shit on the phone. Be like, I said, man, you should do that. And they was like, I said, then you should be in Brazil, and you, AZ, you should be in Europe, and that's why y'all have to talk on the phone. And they was like, yeah. Them niggas wrote, he was in Philly, and the other one was in New York.
We got to play that.
Yeah, right? He stopped the beat, threw that shit on.
Just so they know what we're talking about.
Yeah, let them know this is a Kristen Glove brainchild. So them cats was like, yeah, that'd be a dope idea. So I came up with the whole phone. So then it was, as soon as I mentioned the phone voice, we got your phone tap. What you gonna do? Sooner or later, we got your whole crew. All we need now is the right word or two. And see, that's Nas. You can tell that's Nas. All we read now is the right word or two to make it all stick like glue, and then it through. That's Nas. You know that's Nas. Yeah. Dre's saying it, but that's Nas. So it was dope too, because and so that song, man, it might have took us 15 minutes to lay that shit down.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Once they heard that beat and I got the music in there like I wanted, and it was funny because I was sitting next to Dre. I used to do this thing where when we produce artists, I would sit next to Dre and be like, tell him to say this. Like if they was super famous, I didn't want to say shit to him. I'd be like, oh, tell him he need to breathe more. Tell him he need to, because I was like, Dre, I'm a vocal producer, and I'll be like, nah, bro, that ain't. Nah, tell him again, nigga. And I'm not gonna sit there and tell, Nas, do it again. Like,
yeah.
But Dre can say, do it again, and they'll be like, okay.
It's Dre.
So Dre, I think I was working, it was on this record or something. I was like, man, I kept telling Dre, there was a part bugging me, and I kept telling him, tell him this. And, because so people used to wonder, when I first got to Aftermath, they had all been working there, and they was working on the compilation. And quick footnote, Kamara Cambone, he asked me, he was like, bro, who's in charge, you or Dre? I was like, what are you talking about? He was like, because Dre always look at you, or you look at Dre. When y'all come to something, y'all look at each other. And he look for you, he look at you. It's like, nah, nigga, I ain't in charge of nothing. That's his shit, but we just click like that. You know what I mean?
It's like great minds think alike sometimes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like.
And you guys see it, you hear it.
Dude, you can't help it. It's right in front of you. Like, that nigga should have did a layup. He's right there. So, back to the thing. So, I was like, I told him, I said, man, tell him, man. He said, man, you tell him Glove, and he pushed a button. It's a talkback button.
Yeah.
So he said, you tell him, nigga, and push the button and moved his head back for me to lean up and say some shit. So I said,
you go, excuse me, Mr. Nas.
Yeah, but see, I'm not timid, right? That's the point, right? So I'm not that nigga. Like, you would have thought I would say, so I said,
can you
the greatest rapper of all time from Queens, I have a suggestion, sir. If it's ever so gentle. Nah, that wasn't me. I was like, hey, man, Nas, that ain't it, bro. You got to hit that shit again. And he said, okay. Because what I did was, when Dre be thinking he's funny, right? He thought he was going to call me out, and I was going to bitch out. So he hit the button. Now, Dre had been working with him. Man, nah, hit this. Do this. So what I did was, when he hit it and leaned back, I said exactly what the fuck he had just said to the nigga.
Yeah.
I said, nah, you got to do this like that. Dre looked at me. Motherfucker, you told me to talk move, nigga. I'm on now. Get out of here. And that's when I really would up. So I would produce Dre also. Like, I was the one person, like, I recorded his vocals on No Diggity, that No Question, something.
Yeah.
I recorded that. I produced that vocal. And shit. I did him, I think he Keep Heads Ringing, some other shit.
Nice. Being a part of all that music and doing it at that time, or doing it, because, I mean, shit, man, you were a part of a lot of bangers. You're a part of, like, real, like, #1 tracks, albums. You were there and you're a part of it. how do you still stay like still say like I'm sorry, how do you still stay humble like that? Because I know with cats when they have
You think I'm
one or
humble?
two,
No, I'm playing.
I think you're very humble as fuck.
Man, I'm an
homeboy.
asshole, bro. I'll tell you in a minute. Fuck you. No, I'm playing. I'm
Well,
playing.
thank God you haven't said it to me yet.
No, because you're a wonderful man. No, I don't know. I don't think, as a man, I don't think I've ever said this, but I believe all of us are, okay, so I'm a man, you're a man.
Yeah.
So my accomplishments and your accomplishments should not change the fact that we're the same shit. I'm tall, you're not, or you're tall, I'm not, or you're strong, I'm not as strong, or I'm not weak, but you're stronger.
Yeah.
And so much stronger that I feel weak.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This doesn't. So I feel like no matter what I've done, I haven't done what you've done. So I want to know about you, and I want to be. I'm not trying to come in with my ego and shit and crowd the room with, I'll do this. Or I don't even really like wearing my chain like that, but I wear it because, people tend to react differently when they see it.
Yeah.
Especially for interviews, I do that so they can kind of, like if you flipping through the station, you wonder, why the fuck this guy on TV? You go, oh, look at that chain, that's Death Row.
Yeah.
And you'll go, oh, what's he talking about? It's that social proof he was talking about back in the other room.
Yeah.
It's the same with this is me buying likes.
Yeah.
So, and be honest with you, sometimes I don't enjoy it. I prefer my girl is like, you need to rebrand. And I'm have rebranded, but as I say, if I'm a Laker, I'm going to pull out my Laker gear.
Yeah.
I played for the Lakers, so that's what that is.
Word.
So the humility, thank you. I'm not really trying to be humble. I feel like I'll be telling motherfuckers. But you know what else, though? This is another thing. I've done a lot of stuff, but a lot of people are not saying it because it would make other people look lesser. I'm not saying that's the reason they're not saying it, but it would make other people look lesser. So
I get what you're saying.
There's a lot of things about me, I believe, there's elements in the world that we don't understand. For instance, the fact that the light is shining on me, it's not just don't work because it's light. There's a substance in the air called ether that the light glides on so we can see it. It sits on it. You wouldn't see it. Like in space, they don't have ether. They can't. It's dark in space. Don't believe the hype. So there's shit like that in the world. And I believe it's something that just keeps, the same way there's something keeping violence and mayhem at bay in my life, my mom's prayers or whatever.
Yeah.
Because trust me, to have been with Death Row and come out without a scratch, and motherfuckers tell you they gonna kill you, it's prayers from a gangster. Bigger gangster than the one that's trying to get you. So, I just feel like I look back though at the stuff we've done, and I do like, man, because I know what I've done. And it don't say it on the records. Like that one song, Strand on Death Row, I did the whole track at my house. That's the one song I did in my house. Dre was like, man, I got this idea. I want you to sample this, this, and this, and put it together and do this. And I was like, yes, sir. I went home and I made that shit, what he said. But I made it. He didn't make it. And then I took it back. And then we put a organ at the beginning, and Bishop Bill was there that day and said, let me say something. And we said, okay. And the motherfucker made that, yes, it is I, says we.
Yeah.
And all I see is we or we. That shit was so fucking funny. He was so high. I need another joint. What are y'all doing, man? What the fuck, bro? Where my
Boxer, get him a joint, quick,
man.
stat.
I told you the dude was supposed to hand me 10 of them. I died, huh? Oh, no, it just went off. Oh, okay, the live went away. Oh, you know what happened? I'm sorry, I wrecked the interview, but
no worries.
The my internet went off. I wasn't paying attention. So I carry I'm a Wi-Fi dude. I don't believe in the shit. I'm not paying these motherfuckers no phone bill no more. You called me a bunch of times today, right? We talked on the phone. Like it's Wi-Fi, bro. It's Wi-Fi. My shit's all Wi-Fi. That's how they. On another note, they killed Steve Jobs because he was finna take all the phone companies away. This motherfucker was doing a Wi-Fi phone. The iPhone was supposed to be Wi-Fi. And you could imagine if 18 million people got how many people in this room got an iPhone?
One, two, about for sure three.
I got my hand up. There's two people here with us, so we could all call each other without no phone company.
Yeah.
So that's bad. They knew that he was gonna be like that, so they killed him.
Damn.
And then he
I'll
died.
take
Yeah, he died from some weird ass because he was a fruitarian. Like he got a weird liver cancer. Like that's a fucking CIA injection, bro.
Right.
That's some shit. That ain't no fucking what. Fuck out of here, bro. That dude was healthier than an ox, motherfuckers. And he was 40 something. Like really, the way they kill cancer is they kill you, and then the cancer dies, and then you got to come back from the chemo.
Yeah.
He was way too young to be killed by no chemo, bro. That's just ridiculous. But anyway, back to the music. The thing I do like is that when you work with these people, you have to become something else anyway.
Yeah.
Like when I walk in the room with Dr. Dre, you know, I'm myself, but I know that that's Dr. Dre. So I'm going to be in my place, as I say. Like I'm a gentleman. I honor the other person. I'm a, you know, depending or whatnot. But anyway, same with when Dre and I go see Bono, or when we sit with Jimmy Iovine. We've seen people bigger than us many times. When Michael Jackson was like, I want you to produce me. He was like, what if they don't like it? That's what Dre would say. Yeah. That's why I didn't produce U2 and I didn't produce Michael Jackson, because Dre was scared that somebody wouldn't like it.
Word, interesting.
Because he would have had me do that shit. Definitely.
Let me ask you this: when did you get into music supervising for like reality TV?
You know, it's a trip. That's exactly what I did. I did music supervising for reality TV. That's how I started. So I was working for a gentleman named Kurt Farquhar. He was a great composer, still is. This guy had more. He's composed. He's like, there were other black composers. This dude like LeBron. When we started, it was a dude that was the biggest black composer, but he done passed him with shows, and now it's Kurt. Anyway, yeah. I worked with Kurt. He came and found me. So what happened is, around the time we had just started working on Eminem's album. No, we were working on 2001, and he had a song with Eminem. I forgot what song, whatever song that is that's on his album before we dropped Eminem. That's when I met him, and I had to have brain surgery at that time. My daughter was 3, and I had to tap out, not work. Uh-huh. So I was there telling everybody that I was about to have this brain surgery. And I met Eminem. He told me at that day, this is 1997, he was like, man, I started rapping because of your record, Reckless. And I was like, what? Give me a check. He didn't even have nobody then. He was broke. When he told me that shit, he was broke.
Yeah.
I was like, that's dope, young man. I got to go to the hospital, bye. He was young man. I young manned him. Yeah. I'm holding my daughter. I'm a grown man. He ain't even got no kids yet. I'm like, grown man, see you later, young man. Yeah. He was a boy rapping in battles and shit. Like, nigga, we already got this aftermath, bro. We had Ruthless and Death Row. What?
Yeah.
This is not new. We've been in these halls making big platinum records for many years. But that dude came and sold more records than all of that shit we did.
Yeah.
Which is like, I was there big balling him, and he balled, okay, motherfucker. I'm going to do this then. So
this young man's gonna show you.
Yeah, he got down, but I never disrespect, you know me. You know me, my humility, as you say. Yeah. I wouldn't gonna. I really I enjoy people, so I'd rather see what you got. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I feel you.
Well, Eminem was oh my god, and so when Eminem came, it was around the time that everybody wanted Snoop and Dre reunion. Like, people don't remember that, but Snoop had left. Dre left Death Row. Snoop went to Master P.
No, yeah, you want to No Limit.
And everybody wanted to Snoop and Dre, but that's how come that Zoom song I did when Snoop came and he got bootlegged out, it leaked out because Snoop and Dre had gotten together for the first time.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, that's a couple of things. I've been in the middle of that. I was in the middle of the NWA breakup. I sat right in the... Dre told Eazy-E he didn't want to be in NWA when we was at the Arsenio Hall show watching Michelet perform. I'm sitting in between them niggas. I was like, that's fucked up. Why I gotta sit here for you to tell him that? I sat back like... And then they kept showing this graphic. You know how they show? It was NWA, and it was me, Mike Lynn, Dr. Dre, and Eazy-E. We NWA. It wasn't no Ren, Yella. They was on the other side of us. Like, we was in the middle, because I always sit next to Dre. And Dre didn't want to sit next to Eazy this time, so I had to sit on the other side, in between him and Eazy. That shit was weird. It was hella weird. Hey, and Easy always, he was so cool. He would talk, yeah, man, it was always cool like that. And Dre was like, man, I gotta look over Dre, I gotta look over Dre. That's what he kept saying. I just gotta look over Dre. I had just told the nigga that they got. So the whole thing was, all these people, whatever, bro. Dre know why he left Ruthless, and it was because of what I told him on our contract. The last straw. He thought that they got $250,000 for my albums. I said, nah, we got a $1.5 million deal. We got 3 album deal. He's like, what? That shit's supposed to be $750,000. Nah, because he got paid like that. And I showed him my contract. That's just at $500,000 an album.
Yeah.
He was like, I gotta go, dog. Y'all owe me $80,000 per record.
Damn. Damn.
Before that's how they used to make their money. They would go get us, sign a group, and then go tell a major label, we finna put this out. And they would give them whatever the fuck they wanted.
Crazy.
That's how you get money, man, from a bank. That's what record labels are. They're banks. That's why, I don't know if you asked me the question, what would I tell an artist today? Do not do a record deal.
Yeah.
Because it's not what you become a brand. And you know what I'm going to tell you? Even artists, I bet you Rihanna will tell you this. She sell more makeup and more T-shirts at concerts than she sell music.
I believe it.
Or another point, she makes more money off of the T-shirts and the makeup than she does off of the music. That part.
I would agree with that.
Yeah, so we've been getting fucked all our lives over music from that one minstrel dude. He came up to me 800 years ago, like, "Hey, dude, I got an idea." Little Jewish motherfucker.
but I did in the question that I did ask for being a music supervisor.
Oh,
how does that work in your favor with that compared to like working on albums?
Well, okay, so I was telling that story to get to this point. So what happened was I met Eminem, back to one reason I was holding my daughter, because I was going to get brain surgery, right? So when I had the surgery, I decided, they told me you can't work. They kept saying you can't work. So then one day I was like, can I listen to music? And I was like, yeah. I said, well, that's work.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be working. Fuck what you talking about. I need money. So I didn't do a lot of physical stuff, and I had to let my brain heal. But so I left Aftermath. I produced Exhibit, and then I just didn't do no other stuff. I just was recuperating. And then I met I wanted to, I'm like a serious music guy. Like I had to see if I still had it for myself. So I met a guy who did music for television. And when I finally found out the volume of music I had to do and how much it was going to have to command for me, I wanted to do it to see if after they fuck with my brain, could I still fucking do this over exorbitant. Like I stressed the shit out of myself, bro, like the max. Crazy. So like when I work with Dre, we would go to the studio at 2, start drinking Hennessy, Coke, smoke some weed, make a heater, mix it, and then make another beat. We usually do 2 songs every day, right?
Yeah.
But they will be, so the point was, after we make 100 songs, one of them stand out.
Yeah.
We play it all the time, so that was the one. And then we make another 100 songs, and we get another one. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's how we're dope, because it ain't that every song we make is dope, but we know how to do that. So after a while, you get to a point where you know when you make a dope song, so you don't have to, like with me, I advanced into, like all the songs on my album, I made them one. I made 20, I've got 1,000 songs that I've created for my album. I made them all once. I didn't have to do what we were doing, because it was a lot of heads involved, people moving parts with that. With me, it's just me. Yeah. So I was able, not that I was better or whatever the fuck. It's none of that. It's always, look, anytime you talk to me, the time I spent with Dr. Dre was the most rapturous time of my career. Like, let me tell you, bro, I don't give a fuck what nobody says. I learned more and taught more and did more while I was fucking with that guy than any other time. Even with the breaking shit. I made more money with breaking.
Crazy.
But I did more cultural damage with Dre. Like, I got Bag Lady as one of my songs. Check this out. I wrote a song called Explosive, right? I wrote the whole track. Yeah. Like, and it was funny because, and this is the key. When you do a sample, you sample. But when you interpolate, you created a new version of that piece of music. So you are a creator now.
Yeah.
So I created that. I said, no, we're not gonna use this loop. I want Sean to play the guitar. And I remember I told you about phone tap.
Yeah.
And I remember Dre told me to tell a motherfucker. So now I'm telling motherfuckers.
Yeah.
I want you to play this. I want you to play that. The bass line did a doo 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 doo. Doo, doo, doo. No, he was going boo doo doo doo. I was like, no, nigga, boo 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 boo, boo 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 boo. And then I had to tell them they wasn't hitting the licks right.
Yeah.
And so it's different. So it became a new composition. So lo and behold, this shit's bumping. What's this? Years later, this your boy? This beat?
Yeah, this is Homeboy
That
Preed
shit
one.
sound good too. You switched it up. I like it. So years later, I find out that I hear a song I'm listening to Kanye West's album.
Yeah.
And he's got a part in his album where he's just talking like it's. I think this thing is on backwards. Hang on a second, bro. I hate how these are feeling. That is not right. Nope. This is the right way. Sorry about that. Okay.
It's all good. It's
so
all good.
yeah. So where was I?
You're talking about Kanye. That was a part of the
Right.
album.
So Kanye, I'm listening to his album. He goes. So he's talking about his career, right? It's an album. I think I don't know which one it is, but it's before the college dropout, I think. He's on there saying, yeah, so my career was shit. I couldn't get no beats going or whatever. So I was sitting up and I was just listening to The Chronic 2001 and Explosive from Dr. Dre. He said, and I took the drums from Explosive.
Oh, yeah, I heard this story.
And then I made H to the is O, it to the is A, that song, that beat. That's the Explosive. It's exactly the same. It's a sample. Then he did Rock La Familia. He did, it's a song called Song Cry that got the same beat.
Yeah.
It's like
I know. I heard that, and I remember him saying he did like 8 or like 6, 7 songs.
It's 8
like
of
that.
them,
Yeah, he made
including
from that kid.
H to the Izzo
Yeah.
and a couple of other platinum ones. So look, I did that music, and that happened, right?
Yeah.
I did Reckless, and Eminem told me that, right? So I'm starting to think I'm instrumental in the music industry. Like I these people told me this shit. I didn't make it up. So if I wasn't here, they might have come in another form, but I think that's kind of shit lets you know that your life has meaning. Like motherfucker tell you that, like for real. Like Eminem was like had tears in his eyes and shit. Like motherfucker, well, he wasn't even rich yet. I want to see him now.
Well, there's a video of him with Ice-T, and he's actually singing Reckless to him.
That was after he told me that. So look, when he did that, that was The Art of Rap, right? He did that about a couple of years after. I'd say he wasn't even, when he did that, he was on his way still up.
Yeah.
He wasn't even, man, what he is now, say it now, motherfucker. Today, M.
Do it again.
Do it again.
Do it again.
So, but, you know, I got that. I got Lupe Fiasco. You heard of Lupe Fiasco?
Yes, sir.
I could say, remember that Firm album?
Yeah.
So we did Phone Tap. I also did a song called Firm Fiasco, Fuck Somebody Else. Oh, Firm Fiasco. Lupe Fiasco named himself off of that song. I heard him say it on an interview. I didn't even know that.
Crazy.
I was like, so now I got Lupe Fiasco in my pocket. I got fucking, you know, who the other two? Eminem and Kanye West. Not to mention Ice-T, because that's the biggest. So, and then I introduced Exhibit to Dre, so there's that. I mean, all the shit he does is because of the time he spent with Dre and got Bitch Please, you know? So, hey, I'm around. I'm doing shit.
Word up. And then you do have merch.
Oh, yes, bro.
That you're coming out with?
I have hoodies and T-shirts. I want to keep it simple right now.
Nice.
But my stuff is expensive. I have it priced down, but value, all of my things are going to have real big price tags on it. I'm trying to be up there with, like, Fear of God. And, you know, that type, like $1,500 for a hoodie type shit.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, it's going to get there, too, because all you got to do is do it. I believe art is not valued the way it should be, so, like my album, Red Shirt Freshman, that album is $200 and the price is going up. It'll probably end at 1,000 because I'm gonna put 1,000 songs on this album. It's what I call
shit.
a living album. Yeah, it's a forever album.
Oh,
I'm
damn.
gonna put all the music that I've ever done on this album. Right now, it's 21 songs and part one of my audiobook, and it's 200. When I have 1,000 songs on there, it's gonna be $1,000.
Where can they get that album at?
Directly from me on my social media. You have to talk to me to buy it.
And that, make sure you guys check it out. It's Chris the Glove Taylor on Instagram. Chris the Glove Taylor, all one word, on Instagram.
Yes.
So they can get the merch and they can get the Forever album from you as well.
Yes, sir, exactly. And I'm out around town too. Look for me, man. We're gonna be out there. We outside.
Nice. Yeah, don't forget Sunday, which is gonna be what, the 19th?
May 19th.
May
We're gonna
19th,
be on a Shine On event at Moonshine Records, baby.
Make sure you guys check it out. Chris the Glove Taylor's gonna be doing a set right there.
City of Whittier.
And then you did say it in December 19th, Breaking 2 is the anniversary, and there's going to be an event, more than likely.
Oh, we're putting something together now. But, actually, this is the first place I can say this. I'm having a birthday party at the Mondrian at the Sky Bar on Thursday, the 23rd. So if you guys hear this, you have to RSVP to my email, glove3000@gmail.com, that you can get in free.
And that's for May, right?
May 23rd.
May 23rd. Check it out. If you guys are listening, check it out.
My merch will be there. We sell. It's a dope vibe. We got vinyl for sale. We got our merch and stuff. We got clothing. It's a cool vibe.
Nice.
It's called Vinyl and Vintage.
Vinyl and Vintage. Word up. And then you can get all the information right there. Make sure you guys check it out on Instagram at Chris the Glove Taylor.
I'm about to get on them tables, though, bro. Come on.
Yes, we are. We are gonna do a little mix. But before we get into that mix, and we do that, any shout-outs before we close out this interview?
Yeah, man, I want to give a shout-out to hip-hop, all the young people doing hip-hop. Do what you do, man. When I was coming up, they told us we couldn't do this shit, whatever. Don't let these... I'm going to talk to both sets. Don't let the older or whoever generation that's affect... Who could tell you how to do you? Do you. We didn't let nobody tell us. That's why the same generation, us, I guess... we are telling you because we didn't let nobody tell us. So now to my older generation, my people, man, y'all remember how hard it was, man. Let these kids be kids, man. That's their music, man. It ain't a young man's game. That's just their game. They're the young group. Like, we're the older group. It's just like different versions, different levels. Yeah. It ain't going nowhere. I make hot hip hop. Can't nobody fuck with me. My brain still works, bro. You think that a new producer can know what I know? I'm the guy with the white beard that hangs down to here on top of the hill, waiting for the young killers to come up and learn my style.
Yeah.
And I'm going to beat their ass until I decide to teach them my style. These are all the killers.
Yeah. That's
who I am, bro. I'm the kung fu master of music. And that's why guys like Dre use me.
I'll accept that. I want to say thank you very much, man, for sharing a bit of Los Angeles or even just West Coast hip-hop history, breaking us off some knowledge. We appreciate that right here. Trying to document as much as we can, and it's always a blessing when we got a legend in the studio, man. So thank you very much for coming through.
You're welcome.
Before we close out this episode, make sure you guys check out Chris the Glove Taylor on Instagram. It's spelled the same way you see it on the monitor right there. ChrisTheGloveTaylor. Chris the Glove Taylor. Make sure you guys check it out on Instagram. Adam, very, very cool cat, very reachable. We'll talk to you. No egos, no nothing. Make sure you guys reach out to him. And then also check out his merch. Like he said, he got sweaters and tees, man. Check it out. And then don't forget, on the 19th, this Sunday, Shine On at Moonshine Records. He's going to be dropping a set.
Shout out to Manny. Thank you.
Make sure you guys check that out as well. With that being said, this has been another episode of This Is The Way Radio, broadcasting live from Northeast Los Angeles, live from LA HOTBOX Studios. And as always, we got the freshest, we got the dopest artists that we can always get right here at diggingday.com. And don't forget, you are rocking with the freshest, the dopest, the one and only, www.diggingday.com. Peace.
Hey.